in a matter of a half hour. It's completely changed the interface
Oh, good. With no notice.
without telling anybody anything. Without saying, you know, if you look at your interface, it's going to look quite different this morning. It's going to look very different this morning. Usually, what you see will be something that will be somewhat recognizable. Unfortunately, what we're seeing this morning is
Unrecognizable.
unrecognizable. We have all of these little things that have two guys in this box and two guys in that box and three guys in that box, but none of it makes any sense. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And this is now the third time in a row that it's done this on Friday, which is pretty much pissing me off because it seems now that we have a problem, not only having a problem getting a show on the air for Friday, but from what I'm talking to other people, they're having trouble getting a show on the air. And it's not that we're paying like 50 cents to put this show on the air.
Is this thing being run by the Trump administration in any way, shape, or form? Anybody advising them?
It seems to me, Michael, that Pete Hegseth himself
Is in charge.
Is in charge of this thing. Seems like Pete Hegseth has decided
taking the initiative.
Right. He's taking the initiative and said, we're going to show you how to take a fairly normal broadcast machine, something that you can play with and get it so it will broadcast a group of people and stop broadcasting that group of people. But in the process, we're going to take you for $88 a month to do it.
So the short version is we fucked it up, but we did it on purpose.
Right. And it's and why should we at all do anything to try to fix it? If you send somebody a note, a ticket, as they call it in this high tech business, a ticket. That's what you send, Michael. You don't send a status report. Now you send a ticket. And then
what did the ticket say? They didn't send a ticket.
Well, it just says in parlance that they have. It says, "Well, send us a ticket, and we'll get back to you."
We'll get back to you.
Yeah, I mean within a week or two at least. So I'm trying to figure out where I send the ticket now. That says that the ticket that I sent them 2 weeks ago doesn't. I still haven't heard anything back on that ticket. So I don't know, Michael. I say we proceed here as somewhat normal by saying good morning to each other, even though we are, believe it or not, an hour behind what we should be.
Lucky to be on the air even with that discrepancy.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is that we should be happy, and this is part of the problem is that these people actually think that we should be happy that they've decided that it's okay for us to put the thing on anyway. That we should be happy that they, in their infinite wisdom, gave us a little real estate here that they want to give us a little piece of computer to play with. So that's what we're dealing with this morning.
We're feeling like the Russian general who got blown out of his Volkswagen Golf. or Volkswagen Rabbit. Was it a Rabbit or a Golf?
Which guy was that?
The Russian general in Moscow.
Generals.
That was a Russian general that got blown to smithereens in a city outside of Moscow. And I'm just trying to remember if it was a Volkswagen Golf or a Volkswagen Jetta.
I thought it was
right. What's his name? Casriel? No, not Casriel. Was it?
No, this is this morning.
Oh, this morning. Oh no, I thought you were talking about the guy that took the plane ride. No, see, I haven't seen anything this morning because I'm sitting here playing with these idiots that run this StreamYard thing. Because they're pretty basically saying to me, we don't really care. We want our $80, $88.88 a month to play with our stuff here. And if you don't do that, then there's nothing we can
pull
do.
your plug.
Yeah. So what happened this morning now? There was a Russian general who decided that he was driving
Russian general pulled up in front of an apartment complex, a 3-car motorcade of smaller vehicles, and he was dispatched to the Great Promised Land by a bomb.
Ooh.
A bomb on board his car. And I was just trying to remember if it was a Volkswagen Golf or a Volkswagen Rabbit.
Wow.
The answer is right now it's neither. They're not even going to part it out.
Well, if you're a general, and again, Michael, I mean, I'm not a great student of Russian logistics and how you get this guy to that place without in a certain order. But I would think that if you were a Russian general, that you would probably be able to or have the wherewithal to have somebody with you that would say at 10:30 on the morning of Friday, April 25th, or 11:17 on Friday, April 25th, that we're gonna send a couple of guys over to your house. We're gonna pick you up, and we're gonna put you on a electronic beam that will send you some places.
Well, they sent him someplace, that's for sure. He's not coming back.
That's the thing, Michael. Is you should have a not just a someplace, but a destination.
Well, he has a beginning and an end, so close together you'd hardly notice the difference.
But the problem is, Michael, and correct me if I'm wrong, because you're much more of a worldly man on these things, is that I don't understand.
Yes.
I don't understand the feeling of being in the front seat of your Jetta and watching your ass pass your nose.
It happens in quick succession. Here's my nose, here's my ass. Wait a minute.
Hang on.
Oh, yeah, that was good advice. Hang on. So Pete Hegseth is in charge of security now for all Volkswagens pulling up in front of the Pentagon. Pete, you take the VWs.
Well, Pete, it would seem to me that Pete has a problem.
Well, the ice is thinner than it appeared. That ice is fine. No, I think it looks a little thin. No, I think I'm just eyeballing it, but that ice looks great. Nope. I'm telling you, ice changes overnight. That ice is too thin to hold you, Pete.
It would seem to me that if Trump wants you gone, you're gone. And if Mr. Hegseth wants you to, all they have to do is put in a request.
Well,
And
Trump is working on another project now. He's got to work on how's he going to fuck up the funeral in Vatican City. He's
yeah,
going. He doesn't. He hasn't chosen these words. He's got a few well-chosen words, and the whole thing will be, oh, a tangled mess. And I didn't know it until this morning, but Biden's going to be there too at the funeral.
oh, that ought to be just fun.
They should just sit them next to one another with a priest in between.
Yeah, this is turning into a.
They should have a row for people who really don't belong in the funeral, like Trump, Jack LaLanne, several comedians, and Joe Biden.
Well, yeah, where is Henny Youngman?
He's coming. He's coming.
Take my Pope, please.
Why didn't I think of that?
I feel, yeah. I mean, I'm starting to feel like you have a
Like
guy
you're coming
here,
onto
a couple
something.
guys
Like you
that don't like each
feel
other.
like you're coming on to peyote. That's how you feel.
I wish that would be a
Would be that would be a Fractious Friday.
that would be a welcome sight. I mean, if you ever did need a Fractious Friday, this might be the time.
Tropic Friday.
Right? It is Friday, isn't it?
It is Friday the 25th. It's a Fractious Freaky Friday.
Who is
and Tina Delgado is alive.
Who is Does anybody really know what time it is?
Well, Yogi Berra had the best answer to that one. Yogi, what time is it? And he said, "You mean right now?"
Oh my God! You know, it makes you sometimes wonder, Michael,
what kind of a genius was Yogi Berra?
Yeah, I mean, because they are going to get to a point where they're going to try to figure this all out, and we are going to get like just absolutely screwed when we find that Yogi is he has everything pretty much the way he figured it out is the way that it should be going. Yet,
well, it's a Fractious Friday, Yogi. What do we got here? And he'll say, "Well, it's deja vu all over again." I mean, when you think of the genius of Yogi Berra, it cannot be underestimated what a mind we were dealing with, and just didn't know it. He didn't even know it. And the Giants are a half game out of first, so I shouldn't care.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Michael, it appears to me, and you tell me if I'm wrong or I'm right on this one, that the Giants are, people who a month ago were giving them up for dead were saying this team basically has nowhere to go and not a roadmap to figure out how to get there.
And no chance in hell of beating San Diego or the Dodgers. The funny thing is, they came up with a very simple solution. If Milwaukee comes to town for 4 games, you win 3 of them. That's how you work it. We got 4 games with these guys. What are you going to do? Well, we're going to win 3. Thank you. Next case.
Okay. So if that's the case, now you have another team that's going to come to town in the guise of who's their intended victim this weekend.
I should know that, but I will tell you in a second.
What? I mean, Baltimore pops up in my head, but that violates the 2 teams with the same colors playing each other, doesn't it?
We used the Baltimore jerseys several times when we were in there. We were in the terrible straits.
I mean, Nancy Pelosi's dad Uh,
Texas is coming to town.
Texas.
Texas for 3, followed by our visit to San Diego. That's going to be important because that'll be it's a 2-game series, chance to gain on the Padres. But half game out of first is where we are. Texas for 3, Bruce Bochy and the Rangers.
Yes, Bruce. Now, here's a guy that we haven't seen in a while, have we? A good friend
Since
of
the
ours.
playoffs last year.
Well, he used to be, he used to be, I mean, not the most exciting guy in the world, but he did improve a lot of the Giants.
His teams win.
His teams win. Yeah.
He could have been a Mariner, but no.
He just, all of a sudden, everybody was jumping up and down, loving Bruce Bochy. And then all of a sudden, he disappeared. All of a sudden, he was doing a little well. Where'd Bruce go? Well, now he's in Texas.
Hey,
Bosch.
So we got another catcher to lead our team.
Well, we have one of those too. We have a guy. Yeah, we hooked up with a guy named Cal Raleigh, which we've talked about on this show several times.
Because Wilson likes it.
That you have come up with for the Giants.
Bob Melvin.
And all of a sudden he has, and this was something, Michael, that, let's face it, the people's choice. Am I right or wrong?
So far, you're right.
Okay. I mean,
Giants fans are always the same. They love you if you win. They don't care who you are.
Well, yeah, but there was Bob Melvin seemed to have this kind of persona about him that
he was calm.
He was calm. He had a disarming demeanor. He was a guy who
very much in charge.
Yeah, who didn't seem like he was plussed by much.
No, he was unplussed.
Plussed, and then there are people who are non-plussed, right?
He's nonplussed. He's almost a minus, but not quite.
Yeah, he never seemed to me to be a guy who was very plussed.
He's got a closer that's working this year. That's helping him a lot.
Right. He seems to be a guy that for many, the Giants seem to have problems finding themselves, and was able to bring, I don't know, some people in from the bullpen. And so that helped him. When you add some of that calmness.
They got to get some runs for their starting pitching sometime. That's one of their weaknesses, but right now that's all working for them. Starting pitching's been pretty good. Run support, not always. Every game that we've lost, it's been so many of them have been shutouts because the team just decides not to hit. We've tried that many times, but this year, Chung-Ho Lee, Wilmer Flores, They're putting the bat on the ball, hitting like hell.
Wilmer Flores, boy, there's a guy that has bounced around a lot.
It seems like he found a home with the Giants. He's been there 5 years now.
Yeah, well, but I mean, I remember, is it that long? Because it seemed to me like it was like a week ago that he was upset that they wanted him to leave the Mets. That he almost got to the point with the Mets where he said, "I hate to tell you this, guys, but I don't know that I can play here."
And he's done everything. He plays first. He plays third. He's a DH. He hits the ball. He's a good defensive player.
The
fans love him.
Utility player.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, not a lot of people know this about Wilmer Flores, but Wilmer will, between innings, go to your house, run down your basement, and check your meter.
Just check it. Check to see if it's functioning.
See if it's working at no extra charge. So
now, do you have to call him and make an appointment, or can you just give him a secret sign?
You just give him a sign, and he'll go down.
Will the Mariners steal that sign?
Man, that's an interesting question. Nobody's asked me that. You know, that's something that doesn't come up a lot. But have you run into a ball player who, if you live within a certain geographical area in the city in which the ball player is employed, will go and check your meter?
Yeah, while the game is going on.
Where's Wilmer? Well, he's on Union Street.
He's in Bellevue.
We saw him in the basement of Perry's about 15 minutes ago.
He was only there for a moment. He just looked at the meter and he was gone.
Looked at the meter and he got out. He said, "All right, I know what to charge." What was the guy that ran Perry's?
I think that was Biff Jiggerman.
Yeah, Biff Jiggerman. Or Strange de Jim.
Well-known character about town.
That was
out and about.
Yeah, that was the problem with Herb Cain, is that he had all of these people and all of these names. And
he didn't know how they were pronounced, but
he could never seem to get the names to match up to the people.
Well, Strange was too strange.
Well, it was Strange de Jim.
Strange de Jim. He still is, I think.
Is he still around?
I hope so. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that was. I mean, now you're talking old San Francisco.
Now you definitely are.
But Strange de Jim. Another one of the.
Remember the guy we went to high school with, Jim Strange? Yeah. Well, he's Strange de Jim now.
See, that's what we're not doing right, Michael. I think you just hit on something. Is that every Friday we should gather and assemble
at the Buena Vista bar.
The Buena Vista, and gather all our friends and everything, and sit there and just recount old tales of
the Bay.
Of all these people who, for the most part, died years ago, but just haven't lied down yet.
Or worse than that, they used to be managers in San Francisco. Now they're managers in Texas, which is like death. It's very close to death.
Well, you've been to Texas, haven't you?
Only at the airports, without ever venturing out into the actual tundra of Texas.
Well, I've spent,
Living tundra.
I've spent some time.
Did you ever drive across it?
Oh, many times, yeah. Yes. Many times I've driven across. I've driven across. I've driven through the Panhandle. I've driven uh,
The southern route.
the southern route, the different latitudes, and there's just not been a lot.
And what did you learn?
Nothing.
There was nothing that you picked up by accident on the way.
I learned. I enjoyed the prairie. You know, I thought the prairie was a very interesting place because you could drive for 250 miles and basically not see much of anything.
Sensory deprivation, Texas.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
used to be the state capital. It's Austin now, but it used to be sensory deprivation, Texas.
you could stop in the middle, and you could go to
Whatever you thought the middle was.
excuse me. You could stop in the middle of Texas and look around and look at places that seemed like they should have been something.
But they were nothing.
But
On further examination, well, that something is a nothing.
upon further review, um, it just never seemed like there was much of anything. Now, where it got interesting to me all the time is when you went all the way down to the Rio Grande,
Now we're talking.
you know, where you would go down and
Where the text becomes a mex.
right, right, where the people really aren't wanted, uh, and it's where you're looking around and you go, okay, um, if I go this way, it should go north. But several times I've gone this way, and it's taken me into the middle of nothing. It's kind of like that road that has nothing to do.
The
And what
Lonesome
the hell?
Highway.
And anyway,
There are no hard, satisfying answers to those questions, unfortunately. Just keep until you get to some other state, please.
well, it says FM, uh, Farm Road.
Farm roads are different. Agricultural roads are different from regular roads, aren't they? Used to have the green signs in California. Vinnie,
Yes.
you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to think of because you have a couple of different. You have FM, so that's a farm to market road. Then you have a FM, but that's a farm road. And what's the difference?
There's no static on the FM road, where the AM road has static. No static at all.
F M. But that one, you know what? Where did that movie go?
I was just trying to think who was in it. Was it Martin? Who was the?
Well, it was Steely Dan was in it, weren't they? Or did
Just
they
their
just
music.
or did they just use
Just,
the
just,
music?
just the music.
I thought it was a kind of.
I can't remember who was in the movie. I have no idea.
Oh man, wait, give me a second.
A comedian.
Not George Carlin.
No. It was
Oh man, his. I mean, I can see his face. Which is a usual thing with people. I have a face. Why it's escaping me? Give us some music. Oh man, what was that guy?
I'm trying to think of who it was.
Yeah,
That comedy album, and his song was "I woke up this morning, threw my drink across the lawn." Woke up this morning, threw my drink across the lawn. Looked out on the driveway. Both the cars were gone. Who was that damn comedian?
No static at all. Not one of the Bridges brothers, was it?
No.
For some reason, I thought like one of the Bridges brothers.
No, not how I remember it.
And you could be right because my capacity to remember is at times bereft of memory. Wow. You know, years from now, several years from now, people are going to uncover this show.
Martin Mull.
Martin Mull, yes. Martin Mull and Jerry Willard.
And Cleavon Little was in it too. And Linda Ronstadt is
Yes.
Alex Karras was in FM, for crying out loud. Jimmy Buffett was in the movie.
Really? I don't remember Jimmy Buffett being in it.
Well, he's listed here in the cast, according to IMDb. And Brenda Venus, of all people who I don't know. Ellen Brennan was in it. She played the mother.
Eileen Brennan?
Eileen, yes.
Was not. Stop.
Did Alex Karras play a person on the air? Was he the traffic reporter, sports editor?
Cassie Yates. Eileen Brennan. Jay Fenichel. Cleavon Little was in it.
Yeah.
Um,
Playing the Venus Triflap character, the late night black DJ.
there was also somebody pretty cool with it. I mean, it was a number of like, wasn't there a number of really cool? What the heck was? You know, it's funny because it seemed to me that there should have been more people in this movie than were there. You know, it seemed like it should have been in a place that I don't know, the people it just seemed like there should have been a lot more people in it.
More crowd scenes.
Yeah,
Hey, Vinny, what are you driving this weekend?
I don't know, Michael. It's got four wheels.
What would you like to be driving?
What would I like to be driving this weekend? I tell you what, I really, and I tried to talk them into it. I tried to talk them into giving me the Audi that I was driving last week for another week. I I so enjoyed that. It was just every once
Well,
in a while
well,
you, when it's a real winter, you just want to get in the car and you want to like open up all the windows and drive it all night.
yeah.
And
What was the model?
that was the Q4, and I really enjoyed that particular that particular car. And so this week I have switched to a Honda CRV, and I will tell you that the Honda CRV, Honda has done such a really cool job with their cars. I mean, they have for a long time, but the whole idea of the concept of coming up with a car that has some sportiness to it and some performance to it. That this car will take you up the side of a mountain, and all of a sudden you can go and play with this car a little bit and have fun with it. And
On the side of a mountain?
well, up the side of a mountain, yeah. The problem with going up the side of a mountain is that
It leads you at some point to go down the side of the mountain.
yeah, sometimes you don't come down the side of the mountain. That always seems to be.
That's a rude awakening.
That can always be a bit of a problem. But it was anyway. So I've been just since yesterday. I got the CRV, the Honda CRV. It's such a great car that I actually talked my sister-in-law into buying one.
Really?
Not that many, like 2 years ago, and I thought it was a car that it yeah, just it has good power. I think it has around 260 horsepower. The the drive gear is set up nicely so that it's not a car that is going to be like a Hummer. It's not going to like take you through every kind of weather condition you could possibly think of, but it will take you if you want to ford a river. You can
It'll
do that.
take you across the river?
Yeah, it'll take you. It'll ford a river with you up to a certain. Uh,
Most of the way, some of the way.
well, it'll take you across the river. I mean, it's not gonna. I mean, you obviously don't want to drive it. Um, I don't know. You don't want to go 6 feet into the water with it.
No, that doesn't sound right.
But if you want to take that vehicle and say this is a really cool car to go through 3 or 4 feet of water and go through this go through the reasonable 2 or 3, like 2 feet of water. So if you have a flood in your neighborhood, you can, you can get to people's houses and rescue them and help them to get out of the house and
Providing the
stand a
flood is
greater
under 2
chance
feet.
of surviving.
Well, that's alarming.
You know, they're great on gas, and I think I think they're very reliable.
We'll hear more about it on your show tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
Yes, why don't you jump on with me tomorrow? Well, no, not excuse me. Why don't you listen tomorrow? We're going to be talking to. We're going to try to straighten out the tariff because the tariffs once again are all screwed up. It's so we're going to talk to our friend John Vincent from U.S. News and World Report. John is going to try to straighten out or help us straighten out a little bit of what's going on with the tariffs.
Well, if he gets it done, he'll be the only one.
Somebody has to do it. So we're gonna get his thoughts on what he thinks is going to happen with these tariffs.
That's 11 o'clock tomorrow. If you're thinking about buying a car, you're going to want this information.
Yes. Also, you're going to want to talk to us or listen in a little bit about the huge deal that's going to be announced between Walmart and charging station companies that will, in essence, allow you to charge your car in about an hour at any Walmart in the United States.
That makes good sense.
So you can, so you'll be able to pull your car in, park it, get out of your car, go in the Walmart, buy your stuff, come back out, and load your car up, and then go home.
No charge? Must be a charge.
A light charge. I think
a nominal fee.
Yeah, you'll get yourself a Subway sandwich. You can spend a half hour with Jared, and
Your unforgettable half hour.
Find out what's going on with Jared.
Well, on that grim note, Vinnie, I think that should wipe up the week. That's a grim note.
That is a grim note, man. Sorry for all of the hubbub and
technical difficulties.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to try to work on what happened here today. I'm going to call these fun folks at StreamYard. And is your lovely wife within earshot?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to just say something really nasty about these people, but maybe I won't because I'm a little upset because I just think that it's.
Just hold your peace for now.
It's frustrating.
They must know that people are in this state of mind.
Yeah, it's just
okay. Then until Monday morning, then.
Yeah, Mikey. I will see you on Monday morning if the Lord's will and the creek don't rise. And let's try to as the beautiful woman that Donald Trump is married to, Melania Trump, consistently says to all of the children that gather at the White House, be best.
Yeah, just be best.
Be best.
And good luck. And good luck to you.
Yes, and good luck. Be best. See you,
be
Mikey.
Best, see you, Vinnie. Love you.
Bye. Love you too. Bye. Oh, I'm so stuffed up. All right, let's get this. Let's try to figure out what the hell is going on here.